this video is extremely vulnerable for me, but I know because I just know I need to do it because it's just so close to my heart and it's just so dear to me. And I've put a question box on Instagram asking you guys what question you have for me about living a 10 years relationship. And I simply couldn't just answer. First, I thought it would be much better to do it on YouTube, but I couldn't really answer the questions without giving proper context. And so that's what we are doing. There's really one thing that you could take from, what I'm doing on social is to be true to you and stay authentic and share your truth and remember who the fuck you are, I guess. And it's absolutely like this video is all about me sharing my story, hoping it will inspire you or ignite something in you or make you, I don't know, question something. I mean, if you made it to this video, I guess maybe something is going on in your life. And I just wanted to share my story, as simple as that. I was in a beautiful, beautiful, perfect 10 years relationship, and I fell in love with another man out of nowhere. And I've never believed in love at first sight, never. And it was in the most random place. It was at work. I was absolutely not looking for it, and it just hit me. It hit me on the head, and it took me many, many, many months of, just buried down my feelings and, rational myself into my feelings, telling that I could overcome my emotions, I could overcome my feelings, but I couldn't. And I broke up, and that was the best decision of my life. Oh, I could literally cry because that in that moment that was the absolute best decision of my life, and it completely changed my entire world in so many aspects. I mean, first you always have to deal, with the shock for the family, and my ex, we've been together since we were 16 till 26, and it was a son to my parents, and my dad accepted it, but my mom was like, no, it's the worst decision of your entire life. But I knew what was true for me, and I followed that, and I think that was a huge, and they're really happy now with my boyfriend, and they get along so well and everything. And yeah, it was a big learning for me of learning to disappoint people and being okay with it, and to know that what is the most important is, standing in my truth. And I'm really, straightforward and direct. And when everything was happening, and I would completely say it was love at first sight. I was really vocal with my ex about everything that was going on inside of me. I would tell him like, listen, like I just keep thinking about this guy, like I don't know what's happening to me. I have no clue. And I was extremely, when I started to really realize I was having feelings, and in that moment I never thought the feelings will get bigger and bigger to the point of me being completely in love and breaking up my 10 years relationship. I never thought 1 second that would happen. And I was extremely open about it, about everything, because I think my rational mind almost was like, treating it like it was a sickness, and I needed to find a way to, to end this shit. Honestly, I wanted this to end, and there was also for me this, and I got so many messages from women that can relate. It's the 10 years relationship, and being in such a long, beautiful relationship was my part of my identity. When I would meet people, they would be like, oh, you're like the only one I've ever met that's been in a relationship since, such a long time and from such a young age. And that was honestly like unconsciously my identity. As someone who's extremely, in tune, I truly listen and sit, I listen to my intuition. I'm really aware, self-aware, and listen, all the layers of protection you have around you, including your ego to not, turn your life around, huge, huge. I knew, I was really self-aware, but like, just your ego is going to try to protect yourself no matter what. And, it was a few months, I would say 6 months. And I was like, you know what, like, I would like to stick with my 10 years relationship. I don't want to, break everything. It doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. And that was my first decision. When I did that, I felt a wave of sadness I've never felt before. And it was worse than that. It was immense regret, and my biggest fear in life is regret. And I knew I couldn't bypass it. I knew I would, be in 10 years and think about him and think about what he's doing. And my worst nightmare was, on the day of my wedding day, thinking about him. And I couldn't swallow that. I couldn't swallow that. And I just also, really, because my ex is an incredible man. We are in really good terms. And it was just not okay that such an amazing man was with someone that was, loving him like 50%. I truly believe that, he deserves someone that I guess the same love, the same unconditional love. That made me understand so many things. And when I also want to say, as a spiritual woman, I got some fucking freaking crazy signs that I needed to make this decision. Like some crazy shit. I couldn't even, but there were like so many signs. It was like, put in my face that I needed to make this decision, but I was so afraid of, changing my mind, I guess. And when I made the decision, I had the most intense feeling of relief, and that I was free. And I just knew that was it. And it was extremely hard, but it was so worth it. And it's still, even in my mind, everything that I envisioned, it's so much more beautiful now. Just because I stayed true to me and follow what was right for me. And I also want to say, as a Libra, I'm all about beauty and my looks. And my ex was, all the things. I literally had a list in my head of, like, this is the man that I want, like, you need this, all of that. And he was, checking all the boxes. And my boyfriend now is not he was just not my type at all. But, who he is was everything to me. And that, to me, that was huge to understand that, yeah, your physique could completely go into, the trap. And it doesn't matter. That was a huge learning. I would say the worst red flag for me is a smoker. Like, I cannot with smokers. And he was my partner, he was a smoker for his entire life. And when he met me, he stopped smoking because he knew I would never accept to be with someone that's smoking. And that was just, blowing my mind that, this entire list and everything I thought I wanted was just all bullshit. And not to say that it's only about looks, but I thought it was almost a 50-50. Not at all. I was so wrong. And it's truly something that till you haven't met that person, you will not get it. And oh boy, when you met it, it's like you cannot bypass it. I broke up, which was extremely tough. My ex is just incredible and so wise, and he said that because he loves me so deeply, he just wants my happiness. And if my happiness is with somebody else, then be it. And I cannot tell you guys how many dreams I had of, being on my wedding day and like thinking about this man, or even when we actually, fun fact, it just with my partner, it just clicked. I mean, when we got together, we moved in together like the exact same day. And there was like, when we think about it, we're like, whoa, we were, like, that's fast. But there was no questions at that time. It was just, it made sense. And, there was no period of adjustment when we moved in together, or, struggle, like, not at all. It just flows. And it was extremely easy. It was almost like it was always meant to be and supposed to be. And what's funny is that the first time I met my boyfriend, I've never had this feeling, but it was a deep deja vu of I know you. But like it was so strong that I was like, oh, I know you from this life, but no. And it was just so deep on a soul level. And I think the funniest thing of all is that I have a really dear friend that is an amazing psychic. And at the beginning of last year, she told me, oh, in June, you're gonna meet a man with like an incredible deep soul bond. That was the only thing she said. And I was, oh, of course, a gay man, like, a future best friend. I was so far from thinking that. And I met him in June. And I saw her again since, and she told me, yeah, I saw it was gonna be, really romantic. I was just on my ass, and I would say till even in the last months of really struggling and, understanding that I was in love with another man and what I needed to do. I never thought one sec that I would do it till I did it. It was too scary for my brain and my nervous system to do it and to say, to end like just 10 years of memories and everything and completely change my life. But that was what was right for me. And I also want to share that I deeply struggled after about the guilt, which no one talks about being the one who breaks up and feeling really guilty for hurting someone that you love so much. And it's extremely difficult to end a relationship when everything is fine. It's like, like everything was fine. I was really happy and content. And with my partner, it's, the 10 years were extremely beautiful and such deep, deep love. But with my man now, it's like a level of love that I have never felt and never thought was possible. It's like I cannot explain it. I just got so many messages of women feeling stuck because it's been 10 years, it's been 15 years. But if it's causing you regret, and I know me the feeling of, being on my wedding day thinking about him will kill me. It will kill me. And it wasn't respectful for my ex, neither for me. It wasn't truthful to me, neither to him. And I guess my message with all of this is that you know what is right for you, and if it has to go against, everything that your family wants for you, and it was really tough, with I think when you break up with someone, it's, yes, you have the memories, and on the other side is like all the vision that you had about the future that will never, come to just be realized. That's my message with that is it's fucking scary. It's horribly painful, but don't live in regret. And you know what is true for you, and you just have to follow that. When you come on the other side, it is like you will be so blessed and so happy. Fun fact, but even when we moved in together, I had like a nightmare of that I was still with my ex, and I needed, to break up and go through all the pain and suffering, and then be with my man. And I woke up and I saw him like next to me, and I was like, oh, fuck, I did it. Like, I really did it. And there's just such a relief. And living in your truth is better for everyone. Staying in a position of, like, no one's deserved to be with someone that doesn't love them fully and just stay there because, oh, it's been 10 years or this or that. Like, you deserve to experience like really deep love and live your most joyful, vibrant life. Like, life is too short.